Hey everyone, how are you today? I'm late. I postponed. Crisis averted for now. I was waiting on a return call from a physician for my mother, so that's why we didn't go live at 2 because I used my camera, as you can see, my phone for my camera. And it was a call I couldn't miss. She is needing a test. I had gotten an email that was not supposed to be forwarded to me from one of her doctor's nurses that said CT of abdomen and something else stat. So that got me really alarmed. So I was trying to get a hold of the doctor and waiting for them to call me back. And what does this mean? And she had sent that to me by mistake. She was supposed to send it to the person that schedules the CT. So, yay for me. Anyway, she's going tomorrow morning for the CT, and she is comfortable and not in any pain right now. So we are going to go ahead and do this live today. If you are here, I would love to chat with you. I know this is unscheduled. It is 3 o'clock on a Wednesday, but I would love to chat if you want to say hello. Otherwise, we'll just get right to it. I did want to mention the Designer Series paper sale. Let me turn my camera around here. It is still going on. Select papers from the annual catalog. Nine different papers are 15% off right now. So if you go to leslie.stampinup.net, there's a link to the paper sale, and you can see all the pertinent information on that. Always nice to have papers and pretty papers to deal with. And then if you live in the Lee Summit area or Kansas City area, I am starting up my in-person classes again. So the first one will be this Saturday morning. It's open house style. I did send an email out this morning to most of my local people. If I missed you, I apologize. You weren't probably on my mailing list. But I did not put the address, but it will be at my home in Lee Summit. And we're doing everything we can to create a safe space for you to craft in. It's open house style, just come and go. There'll be refreshments, class sample, or project samples, and some class signups on Saturday morning. So I would love to see you there if you're local. If you have any questions, give me a private message, and I would be happy to answer those. Okay, let's get busy. We're going to make 2 cards this afternoon for Coffee and a Card. I got excited. This first card is inspired by Hammond and Penny. She is an awesome stamper, an artist, a great person to follow if you're a card maker. And I changed my card up a little bit, but I loved her polka dots, and I loved this Magenta Madness combined with the Daffodil Delight. So this is going to be our first card. And it's a square card, but it's a 4x4. So it's still going to fit in an A2 envelope, so you will not have to pay extra for postage. Okay? And we're going to start out with our first layer. And so our card is basically an 8-inch by 4-inch, and then we've scored it at 4 inches to make the square. So I've taken a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece of basic white, and we're going to stamp our polka dots on there. And I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper so that I don't get, I'll just use the back of this, ink all over the place. Okay. We're using one of the new ink colors, Magenta Madness. It's one of my favorites. And we're using the Sharing Sunshine stamp set. It is in the annual catalog. It's a fun little stamp set, very good price point. So if you're interested in that, it's called Sharing Sunshine. It's a photopolymer stamp, and I am going to use this little circle image for our polka dots with the Magenta Madness. We're going to just, and I'm going to grab, hi Kay, I'm on here kind of unexpectedly or at a different time than normal. And I'm happy that you could join us. I'm using the Sharing Sunshine stamp set from our Stampin' Up! Annual catalog, and I'm just stamping a bunch of polka dots onto a piece of 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 basic white cardstock. And that's probably good. And the inspiration, if you're late for this card, came from Hammond and Penny. She is a fantastic stamper and card maker, worth a follow. I get a lot of inspiration from her. She did a similar card to this one, and I kind of went with her idea and changed it up a little bit. But for the most part, it is her design. I always like to give credit where credit is due. Okay, yes, it's very bright and cheery. Love it. Okay, now for our little sunshine, we are going to take a little piece of, I'm going to use these are photopolymer, so I like to use my piercing mat when I'm stamping with the photopolymer. And I'm taking Daffodil Delight ink. And I am going to stamp off on this once. I'm going to go ahead and stamp full strength on here. This is just, I think this is about a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 inch piece of scrap of basic white. Now we've stamped off once, so I'm going to take it again and line it up, but kind of turn it a little bit. Hopefully you can see that very light impression that we just got. So I didn't really need to stamp off on that one. Hi, Carol. Well, we don't know if everything's okay. There's just some things we need to check out. You know, my mom has several health issues, and I called about something today, and they said we need to get a CAT scan right away. And that was right when I was getting ready to go online for my 2 o'clock class. And I knew they were going to call me back to tell me what to do and schedule it. So I thought we were going to go right away because they said stat. You know, when they say stat, that means right now. So I couldn't use my phone for my camera, and I couldn't get it. You know, I couldn't use it anyway, and I needed to take that call. So we got it all settled. She's getting her CT tomorrow. She's very comfortable, and we're going to pray for the best. But thanks for asking. Hi, Vicki. Okay, I went ahead and cut this out with the dies. I'm using the layering circle dies. If you have punches, circle punches that Stampin' Up! Used to carry, they work as well. But I think I used, it's about a 2-inch, well, they weren't my trimmer, about a 1 7/8 inch that die. Yeah, my trimmer's on the floor. We'll get it. Thank you. Since you came in late, I wanted to let you know that this card was designed by Hammond and Penny. So it is not my design, but I just loved the colors of the Magenta Madness and the Daffodil Delight. Okay, now we're going to stamp our little sun man or lady. onto a piece of Daffodil Delight. And I'm using the little, there's two little images. There's a kind of a winky wink image and a happy face image. And I think I'm going to cut my circle out first. Ta-da! And then add my face so I know I'm doing it in the right spot. And I just use, this is about a 1 3/8 inch die. So it's the little guy. I don't think it's the smallest one of the layering circles. It's the next to the smallest one, to cut that out. And then there's this cute little image. It's just a little polka dot. And I'm going to use the Magenta Madness for the cheeks there. So cute. Hi, Joy. And then we're going to pop our little face up onto our rays here with some dimensionals. Hope I have enough here. I have to go in my closet and get some more, but I think we're good. So there we go. Kind of looks like a lion's mane too. I wonder if there's some creative people out there who could turn that into a lion's mane. Then I'm going to stack that right on my card front with some dimensionals. Thank you all for the prayers. I know I appreciate it, and I know she will too. She is actually here with me at my home because she has had several doctor's appointments this week, and I think it was meant to be that she was here. Sometimes it's easier if she just stays with me, and that way we can just, when we have those early appointments, we don't have to get up so early to get there. Okay, I'm not even telling you what I'm doing here. I'm just doing it. These are the little clouds, and I'll show you where they came from. I went ahead and die cut them out already. I wish I had a focus, but they're stitched. You can see that. They are from these dies. I'm loving them. The Give It a Whirl dies. There's some hearts and stars and circles and clouds. These are all the dies that you get with those die, the Give It a Whirl dies. Here's a card we made with those dies a few weeks ago with our Turtle Builder Punch. But with the Give It a Whirl dies, you can make little windows and then spin. So I guess make a spinner card is what you would call it. So that's a card we made, and there's those clouds again. I actually have been dying for clouds and bought the set for the clouds. But the extra dies are fun too. Okay, the final thing I did on this card was the little sentiment, and that is from the thank you, because I wanted something small to fit on this little card. Hi, Kathy. That one's a little low. Let's go up a little bit. There we go. And then I cut some little flags on the ends, my little snips. Just cut right up through the center and then come from each corner, and it just makes a little banner type flag. And I stuck that on also with Stampin' Dimensional. Got that one a little close to the edge. Okay, and then I had one last piece. This is the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You could stamp another sentiment onto that, or put your little note inside. But I always like to line my colored cardstock on the inside with a little basic white cardstock. You could probably stamp or write on the Magenta Madness, but I always like to. You can take it up a notch when you add a little bit there. So thanks to Hammond and Penny for her inspiration for this card. I just love the combination of the Magenta Madness and the Daffodil Delight. Okay, we have one more card. I thought that card was so simple we needed another. And that's one that fell on the floor. I'll be right back. And we definitely need our trimmer for this one. This is the card. I'm going to show you how to make an easy sun rays. I put our little sun guy there in the middle, but you could put a sentiment or whatever, but I'm going to show you how to make these kind of rays coming out from the center. And I did mine a little off center, but you could do it center or however, and you'll see how I do that here in a sec. I'm going to take, this is a regular size envelope, an 8.5 by 5.5, and we fold it in half for our card base. And then our first layer is that Magenta Madness again. I wanted to use that color combination again. I just think it's so cute. This measures 5 by 4 5 1/4 by 4, our first layer. Then I took a piece of 3 3/4 by 5, I believe, yes, of basic white cardstock. I'm going to stick that on my little silicone mat, and I cut a bunch of these triangles out. I'm going to show you here in a minute how I did that, but I decide where I want the center to be, and then just kind of wrap them around. Now the more space you put in between each ray, the more of these little triangles you're going to need. So we need to cut a few more, and I'll show you how to do it, but I'm just kind of giving you the idea of how we're going to get that all going. Now I used all Daffodil Delight, but you could use maybe different colored paper or some pattern paper. I think would be really cute. I'm starting out with just a piece of Daffodil Delight. I think this is 4 inches long. It's 4.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to show you how to make those triangles, or how I did it. You can make them any which way you want. But I wanted mine to be pretty much the same size. So I took the top right-hand corner of my cardstock, and I lined it up with the gutter of my trimmer. And then I took this bottom corner and I slid it over here so it lines up with the edge of this white. Does that make sense? So I've got this corner here and that corner there, and when I cut it, it makes a weird triangle. There's probably a geometric term for that. Joy says, love it. This is one stamp set I didn't even look at. I need it now. It is very reasonably priced. If you're a beginning stamper, this is a great stamp set to grab. Okay, now that I've already done that first triangle, I'm going to take this corner and line it up with the gutter. And then the top corner over here where that white begins. And then we're going to cut, and there's another triangle. So let's just finish this little piece, and we might have enough. I'm doing that again. Just kind of go back and forth, lining up the corners, kind of zigzaggy. It isn't really necessary to do that. You just need kind of an oblong, long triangle, but I wanted my triangles to be pretty much the same size, so that's why I did it that way. Because now they're all basically, I mean, they're not perfectly the same size, but they're basically the same size. I hope that made sense. Okay, now, what did I do? Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. So I've got all my triangles. I've got my little silicone mat, and this is my cut down silicone mat because I did something to it. I can't remember what I did to it, but I had to cut a little bit off. I can't find my regular sized one. And you can start anywhere, but just decide where you want your center to be. So I wanted my little guy to be a little off center, so I'm gonna start right there. And this is gonna be the center. And I'm just using some liquid glue, and that's why I'm using my little silicone mat so I don't get glue on my, in case I go crazy with the glue. I'm going to do these a little wider apart so we can kind of see the difference. The wider apart you make the rays, the less triangles you need. This is kind of the boring part, watching me glue all these on. I thought I would do it ahead of time, but then I didn't want you to get confused to figure out how I did this. Because in a minute, we're going to trim off all these edges. Kathy wants to know what color the yellow is. This is Daffodil Delight. And I got that inspiration from this card that I kind of cased from, I did case it from Hammond and Penny. She's a great card maker. Very artistic, very talented. So look her up on Instagram. That's where I follow her. And so I kind of cased that card. I made a few changes, but I basically copied her card. Okay. So now we're going to stick this little guy right here. There we go. Now it looks like a big, what do you call those? Windmill, water tower thing. And I'm going to take my trimmer again. And I am going to trim off these edges. You could just use your scissors, but you know me. You know me. Did I have one fall off? I should need one little one there, but I think we'll be okay. If you're brave, you could cut these off with your scissors. I don't think it would be difficult. All right, there's our little Sunburst. Like I said, this would be really pretty if you use some different designer series paper. We could just put a tag with a sentiment on there if we wanted to, but since we're using this stamp set, let's use that. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my card front. And then for this little sun, we're going to take a scrap. I think this is like 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 of the basic white. And we're going to use this little sunburst image. I think that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. We are going to do a little die cutting. And again, I'm using the Daffodil Delight to tie back into the paper. And I'm just going to connect these two to make a circle of rays. And then while we've got the ink out, I lost my little scrap paper. I think it went flying. Oh, here we go. We're going to make another little circle. But I'm going to stamp this off once. I don't want it to be real dark. And I didn't stamp it off, did I? Did I? I don't know. There we go. Much better. Okay, we're going to die cut these out with our little layering circle dies. And these will work in the mini here. And I think I will tape these down so they don't shift on me. Okay. And I forgot to put his little face on there, so let's do that. Here it is. I'm just using some Memento Black for all my sentiments and my little guy's face. And then let's put some cheeks on him too. That's so cute. There we go. And we're going to pop him up on the base with some dimensionals. Need to go dig out some new ones. Okay. And then we're going to put my little guy right there on the center of our Sunburst. That cute. Okay, and then we're going to stamp the happy birthday, and that is also from the Sharing Sunshine stamp set. So I'm using some StazOn. Not stays on. Memento again. Good grief. I'm a little flabbergasted. I'm just a little on edge right now. You know, you have a little bolt of adrenaline, and it takes a minute to get rid of it. I think that's my problem right now. Okay, now we're gonna put our happy birthday on there, and I used all my big ones, so let's just grab some mini dimensionals. But I popped those up too. My sentiment up. Need to get in my closet and pull some more out. Flustered. That's the word, Kathy. I'm a little flustered. I just opened an email and it said abdomen CT stat. I was like, what? It just scared me. And it's like, what does this mean? She sent the email to the wrong person. I think they were not supposed to send that to me. They were just supposed to tell me to schedule a CT scan. Anyway, I think people in the health field are just so overwhelmed right now. I think they're just so busy and just worked that, anyway. It just got me excited. So that's why I was late today. If you signed in late, I just thought I was going to have to take my mom for a CT, but we're going to do it in the morning. I have to go fill some prescriptions first and get her on those, and then we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, then I added some of these genial gems. And I really loaded them up. I used 6. I'm pretty stingy with embellishments. I think embellishments are icing on the cake, but, I don't know. But I just thought this sunshine needed 6 of them. Needed a lot of glitter. And they're pretty reasonable, so. I bet the waitresses in Branson are exhausted. I think everybody in food service as well, they just don't have enough workers, and it's a hard job. Hard work. Okay, that is our cards featuring the Sharing Sunshine stamp set. Those are our 2 cards. Like I said, this one is definitely, I want to give Hammond and Penny credit for that inspiration, because I took those pink polka dots background, the clouds and the sun, right off of her card. And that's all for today. I did share, since a lot of you were late, let me go ahead and grab. There is a Designer Series paper sale. If you go to leslie.stampinup.net, there's a link and you can look at the papers that are 15% off right now through the month of through August, I believe, through August 2nd. And then if you're local to me, I would love to have you join me this Saturday for, it's going to be kind of like an open house, but you'll make 2 cards, have some refreshments, I'll have samples, and future class sign-up. So I would love to have you. If you're interested in that, message me and I can send you the address. It'll be in my home here in Lee Summit, Missouri. Vicki Tillett also said she never noticed that stamp set. It's a hidden gem, I tell you. You've got to look at every page of those catalogs. Sometimes those big sweets take over, and we miss the little gems hiding in there. But yeah, it's a fun little stamp set, kind of cute. It would make some cute note cards. That is all I have today. I will be here Saturday. If you're coming, I can't wait to see you. And if you're not, I will see you Monday for Make It Monday. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.